Okay, so we're going to look at the mean of a group frequency distribution. So we've already seen like the mean of frequency distributions, and they literally in your table they would have had, so I'll just get my pen here, they would have had one value in each thing. So like when in class we would have spoke about ages, so we would have had like say 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. My pen's not working very well. And then we would have said there was 3, 4 and 10, something like this. Frequencies, so there's 3 15-year-olds, 4 16-year-olds and 10 17-year-olds. But as you can see from the table I have in this video, there's actually two values. There's like a range of values from 60 to 70, from 70 to 80, from 80 to 90 and so on. So this is when the values have been grouped. So anytime the values have been grouped, it's really important. We have to remember that we have to find the mid-interval values. So I'm just going to highlight this down here. So mid-interval values have to be find our mid-interval values. So like what are our mid-interval values? And once we have them, we actually have to redraw the table. So it makes it a little bit easier now. Okay, so what are mid-interval values? And as I said, we'll have to redraw our table. So mid-interval values is the middle interval value really. So if we look at the first part, so the 60 and the 70, so how do we find the mid-interval value of that? So what we do is we add the 60 and the 70, and because there's two values we divide it by 2. So that'd be 130 divided by 2, which we know will give us 65. And that would make sense. It would make sense to us that 65 would be the mid value between 60 and 70. Then we'll do the same for the next, so we get the 70 and 80. So we add 70 plus 80 divided by 2, so we know that will give us 150 divided by 2, which would be 75. And again, that should make sense to us that the mid value of 70 and 80 is 75. I know some of you are going to be able to say, right, the next one's going to be 85, the next one 95, the next one 105, and the next one 115. And by all means that's right, but if you do find it difficult to do so, just remember all you do is you add the two values and divide it by 2, and that's how you find your mid-interval value. And that's really important for group frequency tables. So once we've that done, we actually end up drawing out our table again. So if I can get a black pen here. Right, so our pulse rate over frequency. So our first value now is going to be, sorry, that's not very straight. Rubber isn't working at all. Right, so our first value is now going to be 65 in here, and the frequency of the 65 stays the same as 5. The next value is now 75, and the frequency of it stays the same. It was 8. Next value 85. Frequency is 22. Next value is 95, and the frequency is 29. Next value is 105, and the frequency is 13. And the last value is 115, and the frequency is 5. Sorry, that pen isn't working overly well today, but I think you get the idea from it. So your pulse rate 65 is the frequency is 5. So if the heart rate was between 60 and 70, we've now said the mid-interval value is 65, and there's 5 people that were in that bracket. Then between 70 and 80, we give a mid-interval value of 75, and we said there was 8 people within that heart rate, and so on. From here now, it actually just goes back to finding the mean of a group, or find the mean of a frequency distribution, which we done earlier on. So we should all know how to do this. So in order to find the mean of this table, all we do is we multiply the pulse rate by the frequency, and then add this pulse rate by this frequency, add the next pulse rate, and so on, and divide it by the frequency. So what we will have is 65 times 5 plus 75 times 8 plus 85 times 22 plus 95 times 29. It's going to be a good high number now. Plus 105 times 13 plus 115 times 5. That's it. And we divide it by the frequencies added together, because we know there was 5 people in that, the first one. 5 people here, 8 people here, 22 people here, 29. So you have to add all them people. So we're going to have 5 plus 8 plus 22 plus 29 plus 13 plus 5. And when you insert all this information into your calculator, which I'm not going to do at the minute, you should get your answer. I'll just pause. Yeah, no, I won't do it. And you insert all that information into your calculator. That will give you the mean of a grouped frequency table. So today, this video is literally just to introduce it to you, and then we'll look at it again in class tomorrow. But it shouldn't be too difficult once you understand the mid-interval value. That's the most important part when it's grouped, that there is a mid-interval value.